Welcome to Final Y 5 Homework 11 walkthrough. Hi everyone. Let's jump right into some fun and challenging questions for today's walkthrough. Don't worry, I'll guide you step by step, and we'll make sure to take things slow so you can keep up. Are you ready? Let's get started. Question 1. According to the passage, sleepwalking happens when? Here are your options. Option A, during REM sleep. Option B, during non-REM sleep. Option C, in between stages of sleep. Option D, when we are dreaming. Take a moment to think about it. Got your answer? The correct answer is option B, during non-REM sleep. Now let me explain. Sleepwalking happens during a stage of sleep called non-REM sleep. This is when your body is completely still, but your brain is doing funny things that might make you walk, clean, or even eat frozen pizza. Remember the story? Pretty weird, right? But it does not happen when you are dreaming. Make sense? Great! Let's move on to the next question. Question 2. Which fact fits best in the paragraph about what makes someone more likely to sleepwalk? Here are the choices. Option A. If you have a parent, brother, or sister who sleepwalks, you are nearly 10 times more likely to sleepwalk. Option B. Scientists estimate that between 1 and 15% of people sleepwalk. Option C. Although sleepwalkers are usually harmless, some have committed crimes while sleepwalking. Option D. If you try talking to a sleepwalker, they might respond, but it may not make sense. Okay, think about it for a moment. Ready? The correct answer is option A. If you have a parent, brother, or sister who sleepwalks, you are nearly 10 times more likely to sleepwalk. Why is that the right answer? Well, the passage talks about genetics, which means traits you inherit from your family. If someone in your family sleepwalks, it makes sense that you are more likely to sleepwalk too. Got it? Let's keep going. Question 3. What does the word hazardous mean in this passage? Here are the options. Option A, silly, wacky, zany. Option B, dangerous, unsafe, risky. Option C, complicated, difficult, complex. Option D, routine, ordinary, usual. Take your time. Got your answer? The correct answer is option B, dangerous, unsafe, risky. Let me explain. The passage talks about how sleepwalkers might accidentally hurt themselves, like falling downstairs or using sharp tools. That sounds dangerous, right? So the word hazardous fits perfectly here. Easy, right? Let's move on. Question 4. According to the passage, what should you do to help a sleepwalker stay safe? Here are your choices. I. Block your staircases. 2. Wake them up as quickly as possible. 3. Help them get back to bed. The passage says blocking stairs and helping the sleepwalker back to bed are important safety steps, but waking them up could be scary for them. So the correct answer is option C, I, and 3. Question 5. According to the passage, anticipatory awakening is... Here are the options. Option A, the scientific term for sleepwalking. Option B, what happens when a sleepwalker is awakened by being frightened? Option C, the stage of sleep when your body is alert but your brain is sleepy. Option D, a way to help someone stop sleepwalking. Think about it. Ready? The correct answer is option D, a way to help someone stop sleepwalking. The passage explains that anticipatory awakening is a technique to wake someone up before they start sleepwalking. This helps prevent it from happening. Pretty smart, right? Let's keep going. Question 6. Generally speaking, a good conclusion will do 3 things. Remind the reader of the author's argument. Summarize the author's main ideas. And leave the reader with something to think about. The passage doesn't have a conclusion, but if it did, which of the following would be the best contribution? Here are your options. Option A, a sleepwalker's eyes usually remain open while they wander around the house. However, they are not seeing the world in the same way as they usually do. Option B, REM sleep usually begins 90 minutes after falling asleep. The time we spend in REM sleep gets longer and longer as the night goes on. Option C, there are still many things we do not understand about sleepwalking. However, with more research, scientists may one day help people who walk and eat frozen pizza in their sleep. Option D, high fevers can often cause sleepwalking in both children and adults. Take a moment to think. Got it? The correct answer is option C. There are still many things we do not understand about sleepwalking. However, with more research, scientists may one day help people who walk and eat frozen pizza in their sleep. This conclusion ties everything together and leaves the reader with something interesting to think about. Great job! Let's move on to the next section. Question 7. According to the passage, Which of the following animals are widely considered to be intelligent? Here are your options. I. Dogs. 2. Whales. 3. Elephants. Take a moment to think about it. Got your answer? The correct answer is option B. I and 2 only. Let me explain. The passage mentions that dogs, dolphins, and whales are considered smart. However, it doesn't mention elephants specifically. So the correct answer is dogs and whales. Make sense? Let's move to the next one. Question 8. Which of the following statements about Dr. Pepperberg is true, according to the passage? Here are the options. Option A. She is a veterinarian, animal doctor. Option B. She is a scientist at Oxford University. Option C. She works with many birds, not just Alex. Option D. She had no experience with animals before Alex. Take your time to think. Ready? The correct answer is option C. She works with many birds, not just Alex. The passage tells us that Dr. Pepperberg is a scientist, and her research involves working with many birds, not just Alex the parrot. Got it? Let's move on. Question 9. The passage mentions keys to suggest that. Here are the options. Option A. Categorizing distinct objects together can be a sign of intelligence. Option B. It is typical for animals to recognize the similarities between keys. Option C. Alex could recognize which key would allow him out of his cage. Option D. Dr. Pepperberg only used one example of an object to teach Alex a new word. Think about it. Got your answer? The correct answer is option A. Categorizing distinct objects together can be a sign of intelligence. The passage explains that Alex used keys to show he could group and understand objects. This demonstrated his intelligence. Cool, right? Let's keep going. 10. Why did Alex first refer to an apple as a bannery? Here are your options. Option A. He wanted a banana or cherry as a treat instead of the apple. Option B. He combined words randomly because he could not really understand language. Option C. He wanted to make Dr. Pepperberg laugh when she was having a bad day. Option D. He did not know the word for apple, so he mixed two known words to describe the unknown object. Take a moment to think about this one. Ready? The correct answer is option D. He did not know the word for apple, so he mixed two known words to describe the unknown object. Alex mixed banana and cherry to describe an apple. It shows he was thinking creatively and using the words he already knew. Pretty smart, huh? Let's move forward. Question 11. Based on its use in paragraph 4, it can be understood that the word skeptic belongs to which of the following word groups? Here are the options. Option A, scholar, genius, sage. Option B, doubter, unbeliever, critic. Option C, follower, disciple, fan. Option D, enemy, opponent, bully. Take your time. Got it. The correct answer is option B, doubter, unbeliever, critic. The passage uses the word skeptic to describe someone who doubts or questions Dr. Pepperberg's work. That's why this answer fits best. Let's keep going. Question 12. The author of this passage seems to think that... Here are your options. Option A, Alex was the smartest bird that has ever lived. Option B, Pepperberg is a fraud whose research should be ignored. Option C, more research is needed on the topic of animal intelligence. Option D, skeptics killed Alex in order to silence Pepperberg. Think about it carefully. Ready? The correct answer is option C, more research is needed on the topic of animal intelligence. The author's tone suggests that while Alex was amazing, there's still so much to learn about how animals think. Pretty exciting, isn't it? Let's move to the next question. Question 13. What is a tsunami? Here are your options. Option A, a series of thunderstorms that directly hit coastal areas. Option B, a tornado that occurs in the ocean then crashes to the shore. Option C, a series of huge waves of water, most often caused by an earthquake under the ocean. Option D, the heightening of the ocean's water level, most often caused by a series of lightning. Take a moment. Got it. The correct answer is option C, a series of huge waves of water, most often caused by an earthquake under the ocean. Tsunamis are powerful and dangerous waves triggered by underwater earthquakes. Let's keep going. Question 14. Minutes after the earthquake, Japan alerted people that there was danger of a tsunami. Why did the location of the earthquake make it more difficult for people in the coastal areas to get to safety before the tsunami arrived? Here are your options. Option A. The earthquake happened very quickly, so people in the coastal areas didn't have enough time to react. Option B. The earthquake occurred very close to Japan, so the wave came ashore very quickly. Option C. The coastal area is crowded, making it difficult to evacuate. Option D. The wave isn't noticeable at first. Take your time. Ready? The correct answer is option B. The earthquake occurred very close to Japan, so the wave came ashore very quickly. Because the earthquake was so close, the tsunami didn't take long to reach the shore, giving people less time to escape. Let's continue. Question 15. When a tsunami wave picks up objects such as cars, trucks, and trees, the wave becomes even more dangerous to structures. Using this information, it can be concluded that, blank. Here are your options. Option A. The waves push the objects along, smashing them into everything in their path. Option B. Brick buildings would be stronger than wooden buildings during a tsunami. Option C. The waves pull the objects along the way, making them scattered. Option D. The waves smash through everything, breaking everything along the way. Take a moment to think. Got it. The correct answer is option A. The waves push the objects along, smashing them into everything in their path. The passage mentions that the wave picks up heavy objects, like cars and trees, and these objects add to the wave's power, smashing into structures along the way. It's like the wave is carrying battering rams. Pretty scary, right? Let's move on. Question 16. After the tsunami warning, many people tried to escape danger areas in their cars. Why would it be difficult for a lot of people in cars to escape an area all at the same time? Here are your options. Option A. People in the car get easily taken away by the wave. Option B. Cars will most likely get pushed back by the waves. Option C. Vehicles caused a stampede. Option D. Lots of people in vehicles would cause traffic jams, so they would not be able to get away quickly or maybe not at all. Take your time. Ready? The correct answer is option D. Lots of people in vehicles would cause traffic jams, so they would not be able to get away quickly or maybe not at all. The passage explains that traffic jams caused by everyone leaving at the same time slowed down evacuations, leaving many people in dangerous areas. Makes sense, right? Let's keep going. Question 17. How is the map helpful in this text? Here are your options. Option A. The map helps the reader know the location of the tsunami. Option B. The map helps the reader know how big the tsunami is. Option C. The map helps the reader visualize how the tsunami looked. Option D. The map didn't help at all. Take a moment to think about it. Got it. The correct answer is option A. The map helps the reader know the location of the tsunami. The map shows where the tsunami happened, helping readers understand the affected areas better. Maps are always useful for visualizing locations. Let's move forward. Question 18. Felix asked his mom if they could go to the movies. Which sentence uses the correct quotation marks? Here are the options. Option A. Felix asked his mom, "Could we go to the movies?" Option B. "Mom, let's go to the movies," asked Felix. Option C. "Mom, let's go to the movies," Felix asked. Take your time. Got your answer? The correct answer is option A. Felix asked his mom, "Could we go to the movies?" The question mark is inside the quotation marks, and the reporting clause is written correctly. 19. Chiara thought that the ice cream was delicious. Which sentence is written correctly? Option A. "This ice cream is delicious," Chiara exclaimed. Option B. Chiara thought to herself about the ice cream. "This is delicious." Option C. "This ice cream is delicious," Chiara thought. The answer to question 19 is option C. Let me explain. Even though Chiara is thinking and not speaking, her thoughts are still written inside quotation marks. So we write, "This ice cream is delicious," Chiara thought. Did you notice the comma before the words Chiara thought? That's important too. It helps the sentence flow. Are you still with me? If so, great. Let's try the next one. Question 20. Preet thanked his grandma for the new basketball. Which sentence is correct? Option A. "Thank you," said Preet to his grandma for the new basketball. Option B. Preet said, "Thank you, Grandma, for the new basketball." Option C. "Thank you for the new basketball, Grandma," said Preet. The answer to question 20 is option C. Okay, here's the reason. Preet's exact words are, "Thank you for the new basketball, Grandma." Notice how the comma comes inside the quotation marks right before grandma. That's how we show where the speech ends, before adding who said it, like said Preet. Take a moment to picture how this works, and when you're ready, let's keep going. Question 21. Gabriella told her mom that she had a soccer game on Saturday. Which sentence shows the correct use of quotation marks? Option A. I have a soccer game on Saturday, said Gabriella. Option B. Gabriella said, I have soccer game. Option C. Do I have a soccer game on Saturday? Asked Gabriella. The answer to question 21 is option A. Here's why. Gabriella is not asking a question, she's making a statement. Her words go inside quotation marks like this. I have a soccer game on Saturday. We also put a comma before the phrase, said Gabriella. That's how we connect her words with the part that tells us who is speaking. Got it? Awesome. Let's do one more. Question 22. I can't believe you did that, she exclaimed. Which sentence is correct? Option A. I can't believe you did that, she exclaimed. Option B. I can't believe you did that, she exclaimed. Option C. I can't believe you did that, she exclaimed. The answer to question 22 is option B. Here's how it works. The exclamation mark is part of what the person is saying, so it must go inside the quotation marks. I can't believe you did that. After that, we write she exclaimed as part of the same sentence. That's why she is not capitalized. Does that make sense? If not, feel free to rewind and listen again. You're doing great. And that's it. You've just tackled some tricky questions about quotation marks. Remember, quotation marks are like little fences that keep the exact words someone says or thinks inside them. Always watch out for punctuation, like commas or question marks, and where they belong. Question 23. Where are you going? Penny asked her mother. Is this written correctly? Option A. Incorrect. Where are you going? Penny asked her mother. Option B. Incorrect. Where are you going? Penny asked her mother. Option C. Correct. The answer to question 23 is option A. Here's why. The quotation marks and question mark are in the correct places, but the capitalization and punctuation after the dialogue are incorrect. In option A, there's a comma after going instead of closing it properly. This can confuse readers. Make sure to double-check punctuation inside and outside quotation marks when writing dialogue. Question 24. I saw Tom down at the park this morning, said Jermaine. Is this written correctly? Option A. Incorrect. I saw Tom down at the park this morning, said Jermaine. Option B. Incorrect. I saw Tom down at the park this morning, said Jermaine. Option C. Correct. The answer to question 24 is option C. Let's break it down. This is correct because the entire spoken phrase is inside quotation marks. I saw Tom down at the park this morning. Notice that the comma comes at the end of the spoken words but is still inside the quotation marks. Then we have said Jermaine following right after, which makes the sentence flow properly. Well done if you got that one right. Question 25. Oh, you scared me, exclaimed Alice. Is this written correctly? Option A. Incorrect. Oh, you scared me, exclaimed Alice. Option B. Incorrect. Oh, you scared me, exclaimed Alice. Option C. Correct. The answer to question 25 is option B. Here's the explanation. When writing dialogue with exclamation marks, they should be placed inside the quotation marks if they're part of the character's words. In this case, Alice is exclaiming, so the exclamation marks belong inside. Option B has this correctly placed. Always remember, punctuation inside quotation marks matters when it's part of what someone is saying. Question 26. What time are you leaving for work? Dad called out to Mom. Is this written correctly? Option A. Incorrect. What time are you leaving for work, Dad? Called out Mom. Option B. Incorrect. What time are you leaving for work? Dad called out to Mom. Option C. Correct. The answer to question 26 is option B. Here's why. The question mark is correctly placed inside the quotation marks because it's part of Dad's question. However, there are slight formatting issues that make option B technically incorrect. Always check that the sentence flows correctly after the quotation marks, and that capitalization and punctuation match the meaning of the sentence. Question 27. John remarked the kestrel is nesting in the ruins of the castle. Which sentence is correct? Option A. John remarked the kestrel is nesting in the ruins of the castle. Option B. John remarked the kestrel is nesting in the ruins of the castle? Option C. John remarked, "The kestrel is nesting in the ruins of the castle?" The answer to question 27 is option B. Here's why. The quotation marks enclose the exact words spoken by John. Since kestrel is not a proper noun, it should not be capitalized. Additionally, there's no question mark because John is making a statement, not asking a question. Always check your capitalization and punctuation when using quotation marks. Question 28. Tony inquired, "When will the new cinema open?" Which sentence is correct? Option A. Tony inquired, "When will the new cinema open?" Option B. Tony inquired, "When will the new cinema open?" Option C. Tony inquired, "When will the new cinema open?" The answer to question 28 is option C. Here's why. Tony is asking a question, so a question mark is required at the end of the sentence. It should also be placed inside the quotation marks because it is part of what Tony is saying. Well done if you got this one right. Question 29. "But that road is closed to traffic," interrupted Kevin. Which sentence is correct? Option A. "But that road is closed to traffic," interrupted Kevin. Option B. "But that road is closed to traffic," interrupted Kevin. Option C. "But that road is closed to traffic," interrupted Kevin. The answer to question 29 is option A. Let's explain. The quotation marks enclose the words Kevin is saying, and the comma is placed inside the quotation marks before interrupted Kevin. Also, Kevin is a proper noun, so it must be capitalized. Paying attention to capitalization is super important here. Question 30. Dress properly for the interview, advised Shin. Which sentence is correct? Option A. Dress properly for the interview, advised Shin. Option B. Dress properly for the interview, advised Shin. Option C. Dress properly for the interview, advised Shin. The answer to question 30 is option C. Here's why. The phrase, "dress properly for the interview," is written inside the quotation marks because it's the exact advice Shin gave. There's a comma inside the quotation marks before advised Shin. Lastly, the word interview is not a proper noun, so it shouldn't be capitalized. Great work if you chose this one. Question 31. "Why did Lance leave so early?" asked Zindel. Which sentence is correct? Option A. "Why did Lance leave so early?" asked Zindel. Option B. "Why did Lance leave so early?" asked Zindel. Option C. "Why did Lance leave so early?" asked Zindel. The answer to question 31 is option B. Here's the reason. The name Lance is a proper noun, so it must be capitalized. Zindel's name is also a proper noun and should be capitalized. Since this is a question, the question mark goes inside the quotation marks. Well done. Question 32. "She recited the poem beautifully," said Ronnie. Which sentence is correct? Option A. "She recited the poem beautifully," said Ronnie. Option B. "She recited the poem beautifully," said Ronnie. Option C. "She recited the poem beautifully," said Ronnie. The answer to question 32 is option B. Let's explain. The words, "she recited the poem beautifully," are enclosed in quotation marks because that's the exact phrase. A comma is placed inside the quotation marks before said Ronnie. Finally, Ronnie is a proper noun and must be capitalized. Excellent if you got this one right. Question 33. The singer complained the microphone was not working properly. Which sentence is correct? Option A. The singer complained the microphone was not working properly. Option B. The singer complained the microphone was not working properly. Option C. The singer complained the microphone was not working properly. The answer to question 33 is option A. Here's why. The sentence reflects a simple complaint or statement from the singer. Since there is no strong emotion or question involved, the punctuation is a period placed inside the quotation marks. Always match the punctuation to the tone of the sentence. Question 34. Maria requested, "May I borrow your Spanish guitar?" Which sentence is correct? Option A. Maria requested, "May I borrow your Spanish guitar?" Option B. Maria requested, "May I borrow your Spanish guitar?" Option C. Maria requested, "May I borrow your Spanish guitar?" The answer to question 34 is option C. Explanation. This is a question, so the question mark belongs inside the quotation marks. The phrase is capitalized correctly, and Spanish is also capitalized because it is a proper adjective. Well done. Question 35. We have the best football team, boasted John. Which sentence is correct? Option A. We have the best football team, boasted John. Option B. We have the best football team, boasted John. Option C. We have the best football team, boasted John. The answer to question 35 is option C. Explanation. The quotation marks enclose John's exact words. The comma is placed inside the quotation marks before boasted John. Since it's a statement and not a question or exclamation, there's no question mark or exclamation mark. Question 36. You must answer the question, ordered the judge. Which sentence is correct? Option A. You must answer the question, ordered the judge. Option B. You must answer the question, ordered the judge. Option C. You must answer the question, ordered the judge. The answer to question 36 is option A. Explanation. The words, you must answer the question, are enclosed in quotation marks. A comma is placed inside the quotation marks, and ordered the judge follows. The word judge is not a proper noun, so it is not capitalized. Complete the sentences. Encircle the letter that represents the appropriate suffix. Question 37. The prisoner of war tunneled his way to free dash. The answer to question 37 is option B, dom. Here's why. The suffix dom means a state of being or a condition. When we add dom to free, we get freedom, which means the state of being free. That fits perfectly in the sentence. Question 38. In order to start the machine, you must push the lever in a clock dash. The answer to question 38 is option D, wise. Explanation. The suffix wise means in the manner of or in relation to. When we say clockwise, it means in the direction of a clock's hands. So clockwise is the correct choice here. Question 39. Martin Luther was the founding father of Protestant dash. The answer to question 39 is option A, ism. Here's why. The suffix pneumachinism is used to refer to systems of belief or principles. Protestantism is the system of beliefs that Martin Luther founded. That's why ism is the right choice. Question 40. The home dash man was given shelter for the night. Option A, some option B, like option C, less option D, full. The answer to question 40 is option C, less. Explanation. The suffix less means without. A homeless man is someone without a home. So homeless is the correct answer here. Question 41. She was a very hardworking and efficient manager dash. The answer to question 41 is option A, S. Here's why. The suffix S is used to refer to female forms of certain nouns. When we add S to manager, we get manageress, which refers to a female manager. That fits perfectly in the sentence. Question 42. He rang the office to in-dash his employer that he was ill. The answer to question 42 is option D, form. Explanation. The suffix form means to shape or give information. When we add it to in, we get inform, which means to let someone know. That's why inform works best here. Question 43. She sat down in a comfort dash armchair and read the newspaper. The answer to question 43 is option B, able. Here's why. The suffix able means capable of or providing. A comfortable armchair is one that provides comfort. So comfortable is the correct choice. Question 44. The mission dash devoted his life to working for the poor. The answer to question 44 is option C, a crogry. Explanation. The suffix in amilary is used to describe people related to specific tasks. A missionary is someone devoted to missions or helping others. That makes a casanary the right suffix. Question 45. They listened attentively as the story began to undash. Option A, move option B, cut option C, fold option D, 4. The answer to question 45 is option C, fold. Here's why. The suffix fold means to open or reveal. When a story unfolds, it starts to reveal itself or develop. That's why unfold is correct here. Question 46. A cure for the ill dash has been discovered lately. The answer to question 46 is option A, lagness. Explanation. The suffix noteness turns an adjective into a noun, meaning the state of being. When we add ness to ill, we get illness, which refers to the condition of being ill. So illness is the correct answer here. Question 47. She earned a dashhood as a solicitor. Option A, neighbor option B, brother option C. livelihood, option D, mother. The answer to question 47 is option C, livelihood. Here's why. The suffix hood refers to a state, condition, or quality. When we add hood to lively, we get livelihood, which refers to a means of earning a living. This fits perfectly in the sentence. Question 48. There will be many dashful candidates in the next election. Option A, hope. Option B, help. Option C, care. Option D, hate. The answer to question 48 is option A, hopeful. Explanation. The suffix full means full of or characterized by. Adding full to hope creates hopeful, which means full of hope or optimism. This makes sense when describing candidates in an election. Question 49. The dashless gambler lost a fortune in Las Vegas. Option A, care. Option B, hair. Option C, soul. Option D, home. The answer to question 49 is option A, careless. Here's why. The suffix less means without. Adding less to care forms careless, which means without care, explaining why the gambler lost a fortune. Question 50. Our babysitter is a very able person. Option A, knowledge. Option B, cap. Option C, love. Option D, depend. The answer to question 50 is option B, capable. Explanation. The suffix able means able to or capable of. Adding able to cap creates capable, meaning someone who is able to handle tasks. That fits well with the description of the babysitter. Question 51. The pupil was given extra homework because of his dashish behavior. Option A, brown. Option B, naughty. Option C, bad. Option D, child. The answer to question 51 is option D, childish. Here's why. The suffix ish means like or resembling. Adding ish to child creates childish, which describes immature or silly behavior. This matches the sentence perfectly. Question 52. The -ive model wore a beautiful evening dress. Option A, innovate. Option B, magnet. Option C, attract. Option D, native. The answer to question 52 is option C, attractive. Explanation. The suffix ive means having the quality of. Adding ive to attract creates attractive, which means pleasing or appealing, as described in the sentence. Question 53. The musician played a dashly jig on the violin. Option A, live. Option B, love. Option C, slow. Option D, beautiful. The answer to question 53 is option A, lively. Here's why. The suffix lie is used to describe how something is done. Adding lie to live forms lively, meaning full of energy or spirit, which is perfect for describing a jig. Question 54. The orchestra played the first dashment of the symphony. Option A, a point. Option B, move. Option C, note. Option D, instru. The answer to question 54 is option B, movement. Explanation. The suffix movement refers to the result of an action. Adding démement to move creates movement, which refers to a section of a symphony. Question 55. The motorist was heavily fined for dashish driving. Option A, humor. Option B, danger. Option C, moment. Option D, monster. The answer to question 55 is option B, dangerous. Here's why. The suffix ocus means full of or having the quality of. Adding angialis to danger creates dangerous, which describes unsafe or reckless driving. Question 56. The brave -ion of the firemen saved many lives. Option A, subtract. Option B, miss. Option C, attract. Option D, act. The answer to question 56 is option D, action. Explanation. The suffix ion refers to the result or process of an action. Adding ion to act creates action, which describes the fireman's heroic deed. Question 57. Your shoulder, A. Shudder, B. Shoulder, circa should, is made up of 3 different bones. The answer to question 57 is option B, shoulder. Here's why. The correct spelling of the body part is shoulder. The word shudder means to shake or tremble, and should is a completely different word. So shoulder fits perfectly here. Question 58. My dog got stuck when his curiosity, A. Courtesy, B. cautiously, circa curiosity, got the better of him. The answer to question 58 is option C, curiosity. Explanation. The correct spelling is curiosity, which means a desire to learn or know something. The other options, courtesy and cautiously, don't fit the meaning of the sentence. Question 59. Carlson was discreet, A. Desperate, B. Despair, circa discreet, to win this race. The answer to question 59 is option A, desperate. Here's why. The correct spelling is desperate, which means feeling a strong need or desire. Despair means hopelessness, and discreet means separate or distinct, so they don't fit the sentence. Question 60. On their induction day, the students tried a variety, a mega, variety, B, varsity, circa versify, of lessons. The answer to question 60 is option A, variety. Explanation. The correct spelling is variety, which means a mix or selection of different things. Varsity refers to a sports team, and versify means to write poetry, so they don't work here. Question 61. The cheating player was given an immediate, A, immerse, B, immediate, circa immaculate, red card. The answer to question 61 is option B, immediate. Here's why. The correct spelling is immediate, which means happening right away. Immerse means to dip into something, and immaculate means perfectly clean, so neither fits the sentence. Question 62. Those sheep are a real nuisance as newspaper, B. Naissance, circa nuisance, complained the farmer. The answer to question 62 is option C, nuisance. Explanation. The correct spelling is nuisance, which means something annoying or troublesome. Newspaper refers to printed news, and naissance is related to birth, so they don't match. Question 63. Last week, a new war memorial was revealed in the cemetery. A. Cemetery. B. Symmetry, circa seminary. The answer to question 63 is option A, cemetery. Here's why. The correct spelling is cemetery, which is a burial ground. Symmetry refers to balance, and seminary is a school for training religious leaders, so neither fits the context. Question 64. Unfortunately, Magaya is terrified of thunder and lightning. A. Lightning. B. Lightning, circa lighter. The answer to question 64 is option B, lightning. Explanation. The correct spelling is lightning, which refers to the bright flashes during a thunderstorm. Lightning means to make lighter, and lighter refers to a device used to start a fire. Question 65. Many years ago, there was an emperor who was so dash, A. Excessively, B. Excellent, circa moderately, fond of new clothes, that he spent all his money in dress. The answer to question 65 is option A, excessively. Here's why. The word excessively means too much, or beyond reasonable limits. The sentence describes how the emperor spent all his money on clothes, so excessively is the best fit. Question 66. He did not trouble himself in the least about his soldiers, nor did he care to go either to the theater or hunting, except for the dash, A treat. Liabilities, B. Responsibilities, circle opportunities, then afforded him for displaying his new clothes. The answer to question 66 is option C, opportunities. Explanation. The word opportunities refers to chances or occasions to do something. The emperor only went to the theater or hunting when it gave him the chance to show off his clothes. Question 67. He had a different suit for each hour of the day, and as of any other king or emperor, one is dash, A. Customized, B. Comfortable, circa accustomed, to say he is sitting in council. It was always said of him, the emperor is sitting in his wardrobe. The answer to question 67 is option C, accustomed. Here's why. The word accustomed means used to or habitual. It makes sense because people were used to saying, the emperor is sitting in council, but for him, they said something else. Question 68. One day, two dash, A. Rough, B. Rouges, circa pass, calling themselves weavers, made their appearance. The answer to question 68 is option B, rouges. Explanation. The word rouges means dishonest people or scoundrels. This describes the two weavers who were pretending to be something they were not. Question 69. They gave out that they knew how to weave stuffs of the most beautiful colors and dash, A. elaborate. B, elevates, circulated, patterns. The answer to question 69 is option A, elaborate. Here's why. The word elaborate means detailed and intricate. It fits perfectly with the description of the weavers claiming to make clothes with beautiful and intricate patterns. Question 70. These must indeed be splendid clothes, thought the dash A. King. B, emperor, circa councilman. The answer to question 70 is option B, emperor. Explanation. The story is about the emperor and his obsession with clothes, so it makes sense that the thought is attributed to him. Question 71. And he caused large sums of money to be given to both the weavers in order that they might begin their work dash A, after, B, tardily, circa immediately. The answer to question 71 is option C, immediately. Here's why. The word immediately means without delay. This fits the emperor's excitement about the weavers starting their work. Question 73. I should like to know how the weavers are getting on with my cloth, said the emperor to himself. After some little time had dash A, Kusi, exiled, B, elapsed, circa excited. The answer to question 73 is option B, elapsed. Here's why. The word elapsed means passed by. It fits because some time had passed since the weavers began their work. Question 74. All the people throughout the city had heard of the wonderful property the cloth was to possess, and all were dash, air, calm, B, anxious, circa depressed, to learn how wise or how ignorant their neighbors might prove to be. The answer to question 74 is option B, anxious. Explanation. The word anxious means eager or worried about something. This fits because people were eager to find out about the cloth. Question 75. Let's find the perimeter and area of the shapes shown. First, we have shape S, a rectangle. To find the perimeter, we add all the sides together, 2 longer sides, 7 centimeters each, 2 shorter sides, 3 centimeters each. So 7 plus 3 plus 7 plus 3 equals 20 centimeters. The correct answer is option B, 20 centimeters. Now for the perimeter of shape R. The sides are 6 centimeters and 5 centimeters. Add them up. 6 plus 5 plus 6 plus 5 plus 5 equals 27 centimeters. The correct answer is option C, 27 centimeters. For shape T, add the top side, 4 centimeters. Right side, 3 plus 2 plus 2 centimeters equals 7 centimeters. Bottom side, 5 centimeters. And left side, 4 plus 1 centimeter equals 6 centimeters. Total, 4 plus 7 plus 5 plus 6 equals 22 centimeters. The correct answer is option A, 22 centimeters. Take a breather, you're doing amazing. Now, let's find the area of shape S. The area of a rectangle is length times width. For shape S, length equals 7 centimeters. Width equals 3 centimeters. So, 7 times 3 equals 21 square centimeters. The correct answer is option D, 21 square centimeters. Finally, let's calculate the area of shape U, a right-angled triangle. The formula is 1/2 times base times height. Base equals 4 centimeters. Height equals 12 centimeters. Multiply. 4 times 12 equals 48. Then divide by 2. 48 divided by 2 equals 24 square centimeters. The correct answer is option A, 24 square centimeters. Great job so far. Keep it up. Question 76. We have a regular pentagon. Each side is 25 centimeters, and there are 5 sides. To find the perimeter, multiply 5 by 25. 5 times 25 equals 125 centimeters. The correct answer is 125 centimeters. Great work! Let's move on to the next question. Question 77. The playground is a regular octagon with a total perimeter of 560 meters. What is the length of each edge? Take a moment to think. Got it? The correct answer is option C, 70 meters. Here's how we solve it. A regular octagon has 8 equal sides. To find the length of each side, divide the total perimeter by 8. 560 divided by 8 equals 70. So each side is 70 meters long. Easy, right? Let's move to the next one. Question 78. How many fence panels does Farmer Brown need for his sheep pen? Here's the information. The total length of the fence is the perimeter. Add all the sides. 10 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 4 equals 32 meters. Each panel is 2 meters wide. Think carefully. Ready? The correct answer is option A, 16 panels. To calculate the number of panels, divide the total perimeter by the width of each panel. 32 divided by 2 equals 16 panels. Farmer Brown needs 16 panels to enclose the pen. Great job! Question 79. So for this question, because we have an irregular shape, we need to split that shape into 2 sections. If we draw a line across this section, we can split the shape into a square and a rectangle. Now it is much easier to calculate the area of this shape. To find the area of the square, we find the missing lengths. The entire bottom length of this shape is 9 centimeters, whereas the top is only 8 centimeters, meaning the top of the square, our missing length, will be 1 centimeter. If we do the same thing for the right side of the square, we find that it is 5 centimeters. So the area of the square is 5 times 1, which is 5 centimeters squared. Now for the area of the rectangle, it is just 9 centimeters times 5 centimeters, which is 45 centimeters. So if we add both areas, we get 50 centimeters squared, so the answer is either A or C. Now to find the perimeter, if we add up all the sides, we get the perimeter of 38 centimeters. So the answer is A. Always remember to double check your addition when calculating the perimeter. Let's keep going. Question 80. Mr. Robinson built a patio using hexagonal tiles. The patio has 18 edges on the outside. Each side of the hexagon is 30 centimeters long. What is the perimeter of the patio? Take your time. Ready? The correct answer is option B, 540 centimeters. Here's how we solve it. Multiply the number of edges, 18, by the length of each side, 30 centimeters. 18 times 30 equals 540 centimeters. The perimeter of the patio is 540 centimeters. Well done! Question 81. What is the perimeter of the pond? Here's how to calculate it. Add the lengths of the shape. 3 plus 3 plus 2 equals 8. Multiply by 2 to account for both sides. 8 times 2 equals 16. Add the widths. 6 plus 3 plus 5 equals 14. Multiply by 2. 14 times 2 equals 28. Add the outcomes for the length and width. 16 plus 28 equals 44 meters. Think carefully. Got your answer? The correct answer is option B, 44 meters. Always double check your addition when working with multiple sides. Great job, let's keep going. Question 82. What is the area of a barn that is 11 meters long and 6 meters wide? Take a moment to think. Ready? The correct answer is option A, 66 square meters. To find the area of a rectangle, multiply the length by the width. 11 times 6 equals 66 square meters. The area of the barn is 66 square meters. Nice work. Question 83. Which 2 shapes on this grid have the same area? Here's how we solve it. Look at each shape, A, B, C, and D. Count the squares each shape covers. Shape C and shape D both cover the same number of squares. Take your time. Got it? The correct answer is option C, C, and D. Both shape C and shape D have the same area because they cover the same number of squares on the grid. Great job, let's keep going. A rectangular carpet has an area of 75 square meters and a length of 15 meters. What is its width? Think carefully. Ready? The correct answer is option A, 5 meters. Here's how we solve it. The formula for the area of a rectangle is area equals length times width. Rearrange the formula to find the width. Width equals area divided by length. Divide 75 by 15 to 75. Divided by 15 equals 5. So the width of the carpet is 5 meters. Option A. Well done. Question 85. What is the total area of this shape, which is made up of a rectangle and a triangle? Here's the information. Rectangle. Length equals 11 centimeters. Width equals 3 centimeters. Area of rectangle equals length times width equals 11 times 3 equals 33 square centimeters. Triangle. Base equals 4 centimeters. Height equals 3 centimeters. Area of triangle equals 1/2 times. Base times height equals 1/2 times 4 times 3 equals 6 square centimeters. Total area equals 33 plus 6 equals 39 square centimeters. Take a moment to think. Got it? The correct answer is option B.
Question 86 is a series question. We want to move left to right. What is changing? First thing that changes is the grey box moves clockwise. you can see it's in the top right, and then it should be in the bottom right, and then it should be left, and then top right, top left, sorry. So we know it's either going to be one of these four options. Now, what else changes? You can see the circle gets added each time. So it keeps getting added, so we should have a semicircle in this question mark box. You can see the next one is a 3/4 circle, and the last one is a full circle. So which one of these is a semicircle? It's going to be option E. Okay, question 87. Because the first box is a question mark, we can look at the next ones and see what is changing. Let's single out, first of all, the black rectangle. The black rectangle is rotating 45 degrees each time. And that's about it. So it's clockwise, right? It's a clockwise rotation. So if we go backwards one step, we know it should actually be anti-clockwise, 45 degrees, which would mean a flat rectangle, right? So it should either be C or E. Should be one of these options. You can see the rectangle, the black rectangle, is horizontal. Okay, what else changes? The other thing that changes is that first the black rectangle is in front, then it's behind, then it's in front, then it's behind. So over here it should actually be behind. That means it's going to be option C. Okay, question 88. Let's look at left to right, what's changing. The pentagon here at the bottom is staying in the same place, okay? But you can see the top pentagon is moving. It's moving to the right, and then it's moving down into the other pentagon. Once they overlap, it becomes black, okay? What's going to happen next? Well, it's probably going to move left, because you can see up here it's moved up. So this top pentagon is moving in like a box fashion. It's going right, down, left, up. A bit like that, okay? So if we look at which one of these options has the hex and pentagon moving to the left, it's going to be option A, okay? You can see, again, imagine this middle box right here. This has got both pentagons on top of each other, and it's black. The next option that happens is that the pentagon moves to the left. That's got option A. So the top pentagon moves to the left, and you've got a grey intersection. After that, you can see from option A moving to the next one, the pentagon moves up, okay? So why is it not option D? Well, the reason is because if you look at these shapes, you could say that this and this are the same, right? And if you did this, if you had the same shape as this reflected here, it wouldn't be option D, because option D, the pentagons are moved to the left side of the box. Whereas in this shape right here, the one that I circled, is actually to the right side of the box, okay? Maybe you say that it's a mirror image. That wouldn't make sense though, because you can look at the middle box. The pentagon is not in the center, okay? So we know the pattern is nothing to do with, for example, some sort of mirror image, which would make the answer D. The pattern is basically the top pentagon is moving to the right, then moving down, and then it's moving left, and it's moving up, okay? And each time, the intersection is always shaded. It's either shaded black, then grey, then black, then grey, then black, okay? Hopefully that makes sense as to why the answer here is A. Question 89. We, again, moving left to right, you can see we've got 3 black squares, then we've got 2, and then we've got 1. What's going to be next is either going to be 2 black squares, for example, it's going 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, like that, or it's going to be maybe resetting, but I think it's going to be, yeah, it looks like it could also be 0 black squares. So either going to be B, C, or E. B, D, or E, my mistake. These are all have only 0 black squares. What else changes? The 3 lines on the right, they seem to move. So 1 line moves to the left, and then 2 lines, and then on final box we should have 3 lines on the left, which is option E. Okay, question 90. Let's look at these, what's changing here. You can see from here to here, Same shape, but it is reflected across a horizontal axis, or it's flipped, okay? Once it's flipped, the colors are also flipped. There's no correlation between this shape and these ones, right? But what we can see is it looks like this one, we should have a flipped version of it that is black on this box, right? So that's going to be option A. The reason why it's not option B is because the star is in the wrong place. What we can imagine the next part of the series would look like if we had another box here is that this triangle would be flipped and it would be, again, the colors would be swapped, okay? So like I mentioned, the answer to this one is going to be option A. Question 91. Let's move left to right again. You can see we switch from triangles to diamonds to triangles to diamonds. So this box should be triangles, black triangles, okay? So we're only left with two potential answers. What else changes? We got 2 triangles and 3 diamonds and 4 triangles and 5 diamonds. We should have 6 triangles here, which is option C. Okay, question 92. Let's move left to right. We've got triangle and triangle. It looks like the circle is rotating around 45 degrees, or even less than that, actually. It's less than 45 degrees. It's probably something like 20 degrees that it's rotating, because you can see this is diagonal, this is perpendicular, this is vertical, sorry, and this is even in between those two. But we know it's rotating like some amount and it's clockwise, you can see again. So we know this one is going to be like a diagonal. So which one of these has got the circles pointing diagonally is going to be option E. Look at this compared to the other ones, yeah? So this is just about knowing how to rotate, okay? Question 93. Let's move left to right. We've got a triangle. We've got 3 lines in a triangle. Next one is 4 lines and a 4-sided shape. Next one is 5 lines and a 5-sided shape. 6 lines and a 6-sided shape, okay? So you can see this one should be a 7 lines and a 7-sided shape. So which one of these is a 7-sided shape? Is option B. And does it have 7 lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, it does. Okay, question 94. This looks like a very simple pattern. It just has hexagon, right? And then this shape, same as this shape. This one, same as this one. So it's just a skipping pattern, meaning we go from 1 to here. So this shape should be the same. It should be option C. Question 95. We've got each shape seems to be losing one circle, but you always keep the black circle. So in this shape, we should have only one circle left, and it should be the black circle. So if we cancel out these ones, now is it going to be C or A? Well, we know each time the square is actually getting smaller. So it's going to be A because it's going to mean it has to be a smaller square than the one here. So it's not going to be C. Okay. Question 96. You got 4 stars in the triangle, and you got 3 stars in the triangle, then 2, then 1. This one should probably be either 0 or 1, okay? So B looks like it has 0 and D has 0. Now, each time you remove a star, you add 1 to the outside. 2, 3, 4, so there should be 5 outside. So it's either going to be B or D. Let's cancel these out. Now, the triangle also flips sides each time. So let's look. It's a flipped triangle. Flipped, flipped, flipped. So we should have something that is this way, which is going to be option D. Question 97, we're on to VR word pairs. So what we have to do here is If you look at the example, you number each of these letters. This is the easiest way to do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you have to figure out, how did I make the next word from the letters in the first word? Okay, so we used number 3, we used M, we used A, so either from 2 or 6. We don't know if it's 2 or 6. So let's look at our second set here. Where did they get this word from? They got it from place 2. So we know the A was place 2, okay? Now for the C, we know that came from place 1, and the E came from place 4. So we know it's going to be 3, 2, 1, 4. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and then 4, which is sack. Okay, if we do the same thing on the next question, how do we get rind from hinder? So we took the last letter, we took the middle letter. Sorry, we took the I before. So it's these ones, right? So we took 2, 3, 4, and the last letter, which is 6. 2, 3, 4, 6, okay? So if we do 2, 3, 4, 6 here, which is ART and D, right? So D came first, okay? So we have DART, which is dot. Okay, next one. Again, where do we get the F from? We got it from the middle. So where are we going to get the first letter for here from? We're going to get it from the middle, which is option third letter. So it's going to start with T. Okay, and then we actually know the answer already. We know it's going to be them because it's the only one that starts with T. We can carry on. So IN, that came from the next two letters. So it's going to be THE. And then the D came from the first letter. So it's going to be M. So them, right? Next one. I can see card. It came from the first letter here and then the last three letters here. Okay, so if we do the same thing, S and then ING, it's going to be sing. So you can see you can actually do these quite quickly now.
Optional questions. Spelling. Encircle the correct spelling of the underlined word. When we go out, my brother always tries to embarrass me. Is it option A, embrace, option B, embarrass, or option C, embrace? The correct answer is option B, embarrass. The correct spelling is embarrass, which contains a double R and a double S. This word is commonly misspelled, but the double letters are essential. The X-ray revealed that the break was in an awkward place. Is it option A, award, option B, accord, or option C, awkward? The correct answer is option C, awkward. The correct spelling is awkward, referring to something clumsy or uncomfortable. It is a unique word with the WKW sequence. We learned all about ancient Egyptian sacrifice in history. Is it option A, sacrifice, option B, sacred, or option C, suffice? The correct answer is option A, sacrifice. The correct spelling is sacrifice, which means to give up something valuable for the sake of others. The ending fice is crucial. It became apparent that nobody had completed the homework. Is it option A, apartment, option B, apparent, or option C, appraised? The correct answer is option B, apparent. The correct spelling is apparent, meaning clearly visible or understood. It contains a double P and a single R. Would you like to accompany me to the cinema this weekend? Is it option A, accompany, option B, accommodate, or option C, according? The correct answer is option A, accompany. The correct spelling is accompany, meaning to go somewhere with someone. It includes the prefix AC and the root word company. I love eating vegetables, ESCP, shangli, asparagus, and spinach. Is it option A, especially, option B, escaped, or option C, estranged? The correct answer is option A, especially. The correct spelling is especially, which means particularly or specifically. Note the E prefix and ally suffix. Is this noise really necessary? Asked my neighbor. Is it option A, increased, option B, necessity, or option C, necessary? The correct answer is option C, necessary. The correct spelling is necessary, which means essential. It has one C and a double S, which is often tricky for learners. In math, we had to circle the relevant answers. Is it option A, reveal, option B, related, or option C, relevant? The correct answer is option C, relevant. The correct spelling is relevant, which means closely connected to the topic. The re prefix and vant suffix are key. Question 1. The length of a rectangle is 5 centimeters longer than its width. The area of the rectangle is 24 square centimeters. What is the perimeter? The correct answer is option A, 22 centimeters. To solve this, let the width of the rectangle be x. The length will be x plus 5. The area of the rectangle is given as 24. Solving the equation x times x plus 5 equals 24 gives x equals 3. This means the width is 3 centimeters and the length is 8 centimeters. The perimeter is 2 times the sum of the length and the width, which equals 22 centimeters. Question 2. Find the area of a square whose perimeter is 16 centimeters. The correct answer is option C, 16 square centimeters. To solve this, the formula for the perimeter of a square is 4 times the side length equals 16. Dividing 16 by 4 gives a side length of 4 centimeters. The area of the square is side times side, which equals 4 times 4, resulting in 16 square centimeters. Question 3. Find the area of side C in the given diagram. The correct answer is option B, 48 square centimeters. To solve this, side C is a rectangle with a length of 12 centimeters and a width of 4 centimeters. The area of a rectangle is length times width, which equals 12 times 4, resulting in 48 square centimeters. Question 4. What is the approximate area of this island in square meters? The correct answer is option B, 150 square meters. To solve this, each grid square represents 5 square meters. Counting approximately 30 squares and multiplying by 5 gives a total area of 150 square meters. Question 5. Which two rectangles have the same area? The correct answer is option A, rectangles B and D. To solve this, calculate the area for each rectangle. The area of rectangle A is 8 times 2.5, which equals 20 square centimeters. The area of rectangle B is 4 times 3, which equals 12 square centimeters. The area of rectangle C is 7 times 3, which equals 21 square centimeters. The area of rectangle D is 8 times 1.5, which equals 12 square centimeters. Therefore, rectangles B and D have the same area. Question 6. What is the area of the cross-shaped paths in this garden? The cross is made of 2 rectangles. Each rectangle has a length of 12 meters and a width of 2 meters. The area of one rectangle is 2 multiplied by 12, which equals 24 square meters. Since there are 2 rectangles, the total area of both rectangles is 24 plus 24, which equals 48 square meters. However, the rectangles overlap in the middle, forming a square with a side length of 2 meters. The area of the overlap is 2 multiplied by 2, which equals 4 square meters. To find the area of the cross, subtract the overlap area from the total area of the rectangles. 48 minus 4 equals 44 square meters. The total area of the cross-shaped paths is 44 square meters. Question 7. James built this cardboard tunnel for his toy cars. What is the total area of the outside of the tunnel? The correct answer is option D, 270 square centimeters. To solve this, find the total area of the outside of the tunnel. The tunnel is open at both ends, so we only calculate the area of the 2 sides and the top. The length and width of each side and the top are 6 centimeters and 15 centimeters. The area of one side is 6 multiplied by 15, which equals 90 square centimeters. Since there are 2 sides, the total area of the sides is 90 multiplied by 2, which equals 180 square centimeters. The area of the top is also 6 multiplied by 15, which equals 90 square centimeters. Add 180 to 90 to get 270 square centimeters. The total area of the outside of the tunnel is 270 square centimeters. Question 8. What is the area of the car park? To find the total area of the car park. Step 1. Understand the layout. The car park has a currently shaped structure that surrounds a rectangular supermarket. The overall dimensions of the car park are 40 meters for the width and 25 meters for the length. The dimensions of the supermarket are 20 meters for the width and 15 meters for the length. Step 2. Calculate the total area of the car park, ignoring the supermarket. To find the total area of the car park, multiply the width by the length. 40 meters multiplied by 25 meters equals 1,000 square meters. Step 3. Subtract the area of the supermarket. To find the area of the supermarket, multiply its width by its length. 20 meters multiplied by 15 meters equals 300 square meters. Step 4. Find the remaining area for the car park. Subtract the area of the supermarket from the total area of the car park. 1,000 square meters minus 300 square meters equals 700 square meters. The total area of the car park is 700 square meters. Option C. Question 9. In Tim's house, a rectangular swimming pool, shown in blue, has a length of 30 meters and a width of 10 meters. This pool is surrounded by grass, shown in green. The pool and grassy area together form a larger rectangle with a length of 50 meters and a width of 20 meters. What area is occupied by the grass? Step 1. Find the total area of the larger rectangle. Multiply the length, which is 50 meters, by the width, which is 20 meters. 50 multiplied by 20 is 1,000 square meters. Step 2. Find the area of the swimming pool. Multiply the length of the pool, which is 30 meters, by the width of the pool, which is 10 meters. 30 multiplied by 10 is 300 square meters. Step 3. Subtract the pool area from the total area. 1,000 minus 300 is 700 square meters. The answer is option A, 700 square meters. Question 10. The floor of a room is 300 centimeters wide and 400 centimeters long. The floor will be tiled using tiles that are 25 centimeters wide and 50 centimeters long. How many tiles do I need to buy? Step 1. Find the area of the floor. Multiply the width, which is 300 centimeters, by the length, which is 400 centimeters. 300 multiplied by 400 is 120,000 square centimeters. Step 2. Find the area of one tile. Multiply the width of the tile, which is 25 centimeters, by the length of the tile, which is 50 centimeters. 25 multiplied by 50 is 1,250 square centimeters. Step 3. Divide the total floor area by the area of one tile. 120,000 divided by 1,250 equals 96. The answer is option B, 96 tiles.
Question 1. We're working with an NVR series in which the decisive cue is the shading of the elements rather than their outlines. In image 1, the top and bottom squares are gray, while the middle shape, which clearly sits on top of them, is white. In image 2, the situation reverses in form, with the top and bottom triangles white and the central triangle, again on below, gray. Images 3 and 4 repeat the first two images respectively, establishing an alternating sequence for the middle shape: white, then gray, then white, then gray. Following that logic, the next middle shape must be white, while the outer pair is gray, which makes C the correct answer. Question 2. Image 1 presents a black pentagon flanked by triangles, and the key is to track how the black portions redistribute through the sequence, rather than being distracted by the outer triangles. By image 3, half of the black area has migrated downwards. In image 4, the lower black elements move up into the center, and by image 5, the black regions reunite, confirming a consistent split, shift, rejoin cycle. Consequently, image 2 must show the opposite half of the black region occupying the central position to begin that cycle properly. This immediately eliminates option A, where the triangle sits centrally, while the half-black pentagon is misplaced below, and also rules out option D, which at first glance looks plausible, but mismatches the left-right pairing of triangles and half-black pentagons, so the pairing logic doesn't hold. Question 3. Here the shapes inside the square rotate clockwise, while the background shade alternates in a strict pattern of gray, then white, then gray, then white, then gray. That alternation forces image 4 to have a white background, regardless of the interior arrangement. Using image 3 as the positional reference, the two-shape cluster must now sit in the top right corner, while the single shape occupies the bottom left, preserving the one-step clockwise rotation of the internal set. When you overlay the shading rule with that rotation rule, the viable choices narrow to B or D, depending on the exact drawings provided, because only those retain the white background and the specified top right and bottom left placements. Question 4. The large circle carries a small square on its rim, and both the position and the color of that small square change in a tightly controlled pattern. It begins on the left. By the third image, it has moved to the right and turned black. In the fourth, it drops to the bottom and turns white. In the fifth, it returns to the left and becomes gray. Two rules are operating simultaneously. The square advances clockwise around the circle, and its color alternates through white, gray, black, white, gray. Applying both rules together leads to option C as the only consistent continuation. Although option A may look similar at a glance, the internal stripes within the large circle also rotate in step with the small square, and that subtle cue disqualifies A. Question 5. Image 1 shows a hexagon enclosing a smaller hexagon with plus-style guidelines and a central black section, and the subsequent images demonstrate that two features change in tandem. The guidelines flip from plus to X form, and the black section steps around the hexagon segments. Image 2 already exhibits the X lines, with the black region moved to the second segment, while image 5 returns to the original plus lines layout, confirming a repeating plus/X cadence. The frame following image 3 therefore must mirror the configuration seen in image 2, namely X lines with the black region in the middle segment position. On that basis, option A is the match that respects both the line style alternation and the segment stepping of the black area. Question 6. The sequence encodes pairs in a repeating syntax rather than a simple rotation, and you can read image 1 as triangle paired with a four-sided shape, followed by circle containing two shapes, after which the pattern repeats. The blank sits exactly where the first pair should recur, so it must once again be triangle with a four-sided shape, before the sequence resumes with circle with two shapes and then returns to the triangle pairing at the end. This interpretation harmonizes the visible start and finish with the hidden middle and avoids overcomplicating the circle entries, which are constant in their double shape content. The only option that fits that coding cleanly is option A, the triangle containing a four-sided shape. Question 7. Each frame results from a clockwise turn of the entire composition, while the number and placement of arrows step forward in a regular count. Image 1 shows the Z-shaped line with a pair of side-to-side arrows at the top. Image 3 returns to the initial line orientation, but adds a third arrow and lowers the set. Image 4 rotates clockwise again and shows 4 arrows. Image 5 rotates once more and shows 5. That means image 2 must already be rotated relative to image 1 and must advance the arrow behavior consistently, which immediately rules out option A as it leaves the line unrotated for too long. Option B fulfills the necessary clockwise turn at the correct stage and aligns the arrow progression, whereas option D, although close in spirit, misplaces the arrows. They should have shifted below or to the right with the rotation and count, which it fails to do. Question 8. Every frame consists of a striped square with a plain circle inside it, and two independent cycles run together. The circle's size pulses from large to small and back again, while the square's stripe orientation rotates clockwise by one step each time. To continue the series correctly, the next image must show the circle at the size indicated by the large to small cycle and the stripes advanced by one rotational step, so both amplitude and orientation cues align. When you reconcile those two constraints, only one candidate preserves the circle size progression and the stripe rotation simultaneously. That candidate is option E, which is therefore the correct answer. Question 9. We need to infer the missing first image from the later frames. In image 2, a black sword-shaped line sits within a circle, accompanied by a very small circle on its left. In image 3, that tiny circle shifts to the right and slightly lower, and the sword's handle-like end tilts a little higher. Image 4 sends the small circle back to the left and a touch further down, with the handle raised again. Image 5 returns the small circle to the right, lower still, with a further slight lift of the handle. Two rules are therefore operating. The tiny circle alternates left-right while gradually descending, and the sword's handle raises a little in each successive frame. Working backwards, image 1 must place the small circle on the right, the opposite of image 2, and slightly higher than any subsequent frame, with the handle correspondingly lower than in image 2 to start the upward tilt sequence. The only option that satisfies both the alternating position of the small circle and the progressive rise of the handle is B. For question 10, the figure looks busy, but it's really two hourglass shapes with a diamond between them, and only the orientations of the short internal lines change. In image 1, the first hourglass has a horizontal line in its upper section and below a vertical line set slightly left of center. The second hourglass has a central vertical line in its upper section and below a horizontal line very close to the triangle point. The central diamond shows a backslash across it. In image 2, those details flip. The first hourglass now has a slightly left of center vertical line above and a horizontal line below. The second hourglass has a horizontal line near the point above and a central vertical line below, and the diamond switches to a forward slash across it. Image 3 repeats image 1 exactly, and image 4 repeats image 2. Therefore, the sequence alternates 1, 2, 1, 2, so the missing fifth frame must repeat the configuration of images 1 and 3. That matches option B. Question 11. The sequence builds nested hexagons while alternating colors. Image 1 has a single black hexagon. Image 2 contains a white hexagon with a black hexagon inside it, 2 in total. Image 3 shows 3, colored black, white, black from outside to inside. Image 5 confirms the rule with 5 hexagons arranged black, white, black, white, black. The missing image 4 must therefore contain 4 nested hexagons, continuing the alternation so that the outermost is white, followed by black, then white, then black. The arrangement that exactly matches this count and color order is option A. Question 12. Each frame shows a central small black circle with straight border lines that rotate clockwise from image to image. The central dot remains fixed, while only the borderline orientation advances. To identify the missing arrangement, take image 3 as the anchor. The lines there are one step further clockwise than in image 2, so image 2 must be one step earlier in the rotation than image 3, and one step later than image 1. Mapping that steady, single-step progression places the lines in the orientation shown in option D, which alone preserves the constant clockwise sequencing without skipping or reversing a step. Question 13. The images show a field of tiny circles. Image 1 contains 16 circles in total, of which 2 are black. In image 2, 2 additional circles turn black, and 1 white circle disappears. In image 3, 2 more turn black, and another white circle is removed. In image 4, the pattern repeats, giving 8 black circles overall and 3 missing whites. Extrapolating one further step, image 5 should therefore show 10 black circles with 4 whites missing from the original 16. Option E matches that outcome. Question 14. Each frame contains a single arrow that rotates clockwise like a clock hand, and each arrow also contains a small internal circle whose position shifts along the arrow from tail to head. In image 1, the arrow points right and the small circle sits near the tail. In image 3, the arrow points down and the small circle has moved to the middle. In image 4, the arrow points towards the bottom left and the circle sits close to the head. By image 5, the arrow points left again and the circle has reached the head. Working back from these positions, image 2 must place the arrow one step clockwise from left, i.e. pointing towards the bottom right, with the small circle midway along the shaft. That specification corresponds to option A. Question 15. The sequence alternates the internal guide from an X to a plus and back again, while the small black dots accumulate one by one around the ends of the current guidelines, advancing counterclockwise. Image 1 is a plain circle with an X and no dots. Image 3 returns to an X, but now has 2 dots at the X's ends, top left and bottom right. Image 4 switches to a plus and shows 3 dots at the ends of the vertical and horizontal lines, left, down, right. Image 5 switches back to an X with 4 dots, 1 at each diagonal end. Therefore, image 2, sitting between the empty X of image 1 and the 2-dot X of image 3, must be the plus version with a single dot placed at the first counterclockwise position, i.e. the top end of the plus. This is exactly option A. Here, the rule is not about repeating shapes, but about side count progression. The figures increase by 3 sides each step. Image 1 shows a triangle, 3 sides. Image 2, a hexagon, 6 sides. Image 3, a composite with 9 sides in total, and image 4, a composite totaling 12. Continuing the arithmetic, image 5 must present a figure, or composite, with 15 sides. Among the choices, the only configuration with a total of 15 sides is option D, which satisfies the +3 progression cleanly. Question 17. Each frame shows a curved arrow whose tail and head positions rotate clockwise from image to image, and a small straight arrow located at the tip of the curve that alternates between not facing the curve's direction and facing the curve's direction. Image 1 has the tail on the left, the head on the right pointing down, and the small arrow pointing right, not faced in. Image 2 rotates so the tail is at the top and the head at the bottom left pointing left, with the small arrow now facing up, faced in. Image 3 places the tail on the right, the head on the left pointing upwards, with the small arrow facing left, not faced in. Image 5 returns to the original left to right, head down orientation of image 1, not faced in. So image 4 must be one clockwise step after image 3, the tail below, the head to the left pointing leftwards/up left, and the small arrow switched to the facing state pointing down. That specification is satisfied by option D.
Question 136. Find the missing word in the third group. Crash, dash, flash, gash, shape, blank. Is it A, tape, B, vape, C, gape? The correct answer is A, tape. Now, let's think about the rule. The formula is that you change the first letter to the next letter in the alphabet and drop the second letter. Let's look at the working. Crash becomes dash because C goes to D and R is dropped. Flash becomes gash because F goes to G and L is dropped. So shape will become tape because S goes to T and H is dropped. Vape and gape don't work because they don't match the rule of changing the first letter to the next letter. Let's try the next one. Question 137. Poster, rest, wanted, dent, hasten, blank. Is it A, eats, B, then, C, nest? The correct answer is C, nest. Here's the formula. You make a four-letter word ending in the letter T using letters from the first word. Let's look at the working. Rest and dent both end with the letter T. From the letters in hasten, the word nest fits the rule. The other options, eats and then, don't match the pattern of the first two pairs. Eats also ends in T, but den does not. Question 138. Open parenthesis, wanted, comma, weighed, close parenthesis, open parenthesis, loiter, comma, lore, close parenthesis, open parenthesis, dussel, comma, blank, close parenthesis. A, fuel, B, dual, C, fuel. The correct answer is B, dual. Let's look at the formula to understand how we got that. We keep letters 1, 2, 6, and 5 from the first word in that order. For example, in wanted, the first letter is W, the second is A, the sixth is E, and the fifth is D, giving us W, A, D, E, or weighed. In loiter, the letters are L, O, R, E, or lore. And in duffel, the letters are D, U, E, L, which makes the word dual. The other options like fuel and fuel don't follow this same pattern of picking specific letters in that order. Now let's move on to the next question. Question 139. Open parenthesis, tables, comma, salt, close parenthesis, open parenthesis, singer, comma, rigs, close parenthesis, open parenthesis, remain, comma, blank, close parenthesis. A, near, B, main, C, mean. The correct answer is A, near. Let's look at the formula for this question. We use letters at positions 6, 2, 4, and 1 of the first word. In tables, the sixth letter is A, the second is B, the fourth is L, and the first is T, making salt. For singer, the letters are R, I, G, S, or rigs. And in remain, the letters are N, E, A, R, forming the word near. The other options, like main and mean, don't follow this specific letter selection rule. Question 140. Open parenthesis, retire, comma, write, close parenthesis. Open parenthesis, spares, comma, eras, close parenthesis. Open parenthesis, decide, comma, blank, close parenthesis. A, side, B, dice, C, died. The correct answer is B, dice. Now let's see how we figured that out. The formula for this puzzle is to remove the first and last letters of the first word, and then rearrange the remaining letters to make a real word. For example, in retire, if we remove the first R and the last E, we have eater, which we can rearrange to spell right. In spares, removing the first S and the last S leaves us with pair, which can be rearranged to eras. So in decide, if we remove the first D and the last E, we have ekid, which can be rearranged to spell dice. The other options like side and died don't work because they don't follow the rule of removing the first and last letters and rearranging them. Let's move on to question 141. Open parenthesis, flood, comma, good, close parenthesis, open parenthesis, boast, comma, cast, close parenthesis, open parenthesis, stale, comma, blank, close parenthesis. A, whale, B, sail, C, tail. The correct answer is C, tail. Now let's find out why. The formula for this puzzle is to increase the first letter by 1 in the alphabet and then remove the second letter. For example, in flood, we change F to G and remove L, making good. In boast, we change B to C and remove O, making cast. So in stale, we change S to T and remove T, making tail. The other options, like whale and sail, don't follow the rule of changing the first letter by 1 in the alphabet. Question 142. Matrices. Rule. Swap the shapes. The top row shows a swap. Frame 1, outer shape is a square, inner shape is a triangle. Frame 2, outer shape is a triangle, inner shape is a square. They switched places. So do the same in the bottom row. Frame 3, outer shape is a circle, inner shape is a house. Frame 4 must be outer shape is a house, inner shape is a circle. Eliminate. A, inner shape is a triangle, no. C, both shapes don't match the rule, no. D, outer stays a circle and inner is a square, no. E, has two shapes inside, no. Answer B, house outside, circle inside. Question 143. Matrices. In each column, the bottom picture is the top picture rotated 90 degrees clockwise. See left column. Tall rectangle becomes a wide rectangle. Apply the same to the top right. It's an upside-down triangle with a black band along its top edge. Rotate 90 degrees clockwise so the triangle points left and the black band moves to the right edge. Eliminate. A, black band on the tip, no. B, shading position wrong, no. C, tip still down, no. D, triangle fully black, no. Answer E. Let's start with question 144. Question 144. Matrices. So the rule here is to look at each column. When you look from the top to the bottom of a column, the shape changes from being all black to being split into black and white with a vertical line, like it's been cut in half. For example, in the left column, you see a black hexagon at the top, and then below it, you see the same hexagon, but this time it's split into black and white with a vertical line down the middle. So if we apply that same rule to the right column, you see a black trapezium at the top. Following the rule, the missing shape should be the same trapezium, but it should be split vertically into black and white. Let's check our options to see which one matches. Option A is the trapezium split, but it's split horizontally, not vertically, so that's not right. Option B is a hexagon, not a trapezium, so it can't be B. Option C is still all black. It's not split black and white. And option D is all white, which doesn't match the pattern either. That leaves option E. Option E is the trapezium split vertically into black and white, just like we figured out. So the answer is E. Great job! Let's move on to question 145. Question 145. Matrices. In this puzzle, the rule is to look at each row. The second picture in each row is the first picture rotated 180 degrees, which is like flipping it upside down. For example, in the top row, you see a line with 2 circles on it. When you flip it 180 degrees, the circles go to the other end of the line, like it's turned around. Now, let's apply the same rule to the bottom row. You see a triangle with a dot inside. If you rotate that triangle 180 degrees, it will point downwards, and the dot will keep its place relative to the triangle. Let's check our options to see which one matches this flipped triangle. Option A is a circle, not a triangle, so it's the wrong shape. Options C and D have the triangle rotated in a different way, not a full 180-degree flip. And option E is the triangle still pointing upwards, so there's no rotation at all. That leaves option B. Option B has the triangle pointing downwards, with the dot in the right place, which is the flipped version. So the answer is B. Wonderful!
Question 146. Matrices. Look at the first 2 columns. The rule here is that the top left shape turns around, like doing a somersault, and it also shrinks to make the top right shape. So the shape in the bottom left corner must also turn around like 180 degrees, and it will shrink to make the missing bottom right shape. Let's check the options. Option A shows the small circle with the bottom left sector rotated 180 degrees. That looks correct. Option B, the sector points the same way as the original shape, no turn at all. Option C has 2 sectors, an extra piece we don't need. Options D and E have wrong internal shapes or orientations. So the correct answer is A. Question 147. Matrices. Think of the big square like a kaleidoscope. Each small square mirrors the lines from the ones next to it. Let's build the missing bottom right shape. First, copy the vertical line you see in the top right square. Then, copy the horizontal line you see in the bottom left square. And finally, continue the slanting or diagonal line that comes from the top left square into the center. That gives a little quarter square with a diagonal inside it. Let's check the options. Option B has the diagonal line missing. Options C, D, and E have lines that don't make that neat quarter shape, and the angles don't match the mirroring. So the correct answer is A. Question 148. Matrices. Remember how each shape mirrors the ones next to it? So the missing bottom right square must mirror the top right square when flipped down, and the bottom left square when flipped right. Let's see what the missing square should have. It should have a quarter of a circle curving in the bottom right corner. It should also have the matching edge of the hexagon next to that curve. And finally, a thick frame band along the top and right edges to match the heavy bands around the big square. Let's eliminate the wrong options. Option A, the polygon edge is wrong. It looks like a 5-sided shape, and the banding doesn't match. Option B, the thick band is on the wrong side. Option C, the band and lines don't mirror the neighbors correctly. And option E, the curve faces the wrong way. So the correct answer is D.
49. Matrices. Mirror rule. Think of it this way, kids. Every line that reaches the edge of a small square keeps going or mirrors itself in the very next square, just like in a kaleidoscope. So the shape we need to put in the missing bottom right space must continue the lines that are next to it. It has to keep the 2 circular bands going that are coming down from the top right square. It also needs to continue the big curvy line and the smaller curve that are coming across from the bottom left square. And finally, it has to continue both of those slanted lines, the one going this way, which is a slanted forward line, and the one going that way, which is a slanted backward line, from the bottom left square too. Let's check the options. Option B is wrong because the lower curvy line from the bottom left is broken and the slanted lines don't look right. In option C, the curvy lines are all squished together in the wrong corner and there are no slanted lines at all. Option D has one curvy line that is broken or not lined up correctly, and the diagonal lines are wrong too. And for option E, the diagonal lines lean the wrong way, and the curvy lines don't meet the borders smoothly. That's why option A is the correct answer. Answer: A. Question 150. Matrices, mirror rule. The rule for this one is like the last one. Each edge of the squares acts like a mirror. Any line that touches a border just keeps on going into the square right next to it. So, what should our missing piece in the bottom right show? Well, the curved part of the big circle must continue perfectly from the top right square and the bottom left square. The two squares that are inside each other must also continue, and from their right sides, a diagonal line should go inwards, matching the X pattern you can see happening in other parts of the matrix. There should also be a small square inside all of that, with its own little diagonal line continuing in the same direction. Let's see why the others don't fit the pattern. Option A is incorrect because the diagonal line coming from the side of the large square is broken. Option C also has that same break in the side diagonal, and the curvy lines don't meet the border cleanly. In option D, the shapes on the inside are drawn in the wrong places or at the wrong angles. And for option E, the outer curved line is too wide. It doesn't match the circle's curvature correctly. So option B is the right choice. 151. This one is about matrices, and it uses something we call the mirror rule. The rule says that each edge is a mirror. Every line that reaches a border keeps going into the next small square. The whole picture makes one 8-point star with a tiny grid or square in the center. So imagine the lines between the squares are like mirrors. When a line hits that mirror, it bounces into the next square, continuing the pattern. When all the squares are put together, they form one big star with a small grid in the very middle. Now, let's figure out what the last square needs to look like to complete the picture. What the missing piece must show, the bottom right square, is two slanted star rays continuing from the top and left squares. The little grid continues, so its horizontal and vertical lines reach the slanted ray, forming a neat small square at the end. We need the slanted lines from the top and left squares to continue into this corner. We also need the little grid lines to keep going until they meet those slanted lines, making a small square shape at the end. Now, let's see why some of the other choices are wrong. If we look at A, the center horizontal grid line stops early. It should meet the slanted ray. In B and C, the vertical grid line is broken. It must run to the right slanted ray. And in D, the star rays are in the wrong corner or angles for a mirror of the other squares. None of these options match how the line should continue. So E is the correct missing piece because it perfectly mirrors the lines from the squares next to it. Now, let's move on to question 152. Here's a kid-friendly rule for this one. Pretend the middle lines are mirrors. Whatever you see in one small square keeps going across the middle, so all four pieces fit together into one picture. This means the missing corner must copy and continue the lines from its neighboring squares. So what the missing corner must show is keeping the slanted lines going to finish the 5-point star. We also need to add the right-hand quarter of the little square, or the frame inside. And we need to close the 3 small triangles that meet at the center. Let's see why the other options are wrong. In B, the slanted line meets the wrong edge, so the star doesn't join correctly. In C, the inner square and triangles are arranged differently from the other 3. In D, the line positions don't mirror the neighbors. And in E, a star point sticks outside the box. So the correct answer is A.
3. Matrices, mirror rule. The middle lines, boys and girls, they act like mirrors. Think about when you look in a mirror. Each little square is only a little part, like 1/4 of the big picture. So the missing corner has to copy or keep going with the lines you see next to it, just like a reflection. What the missing corner must show: it needs to have 2 curvy lines, called quarter circles. One is near the top edge, and the other is closer to the middle. They should curve the same way as the curvy lines right next to them. Also, look for the inner corner of the little square frame, just 1/4 of it. And finally, there should be a straight line that goes from the top left piece spiraling downwards, and it must connect with that lower curvy line, or arc. Eliminate. The curvy lines and the straight line are on the wrong sides. B, the needed slanted line is just not there at all. D, the slanted line stops too early. It doesn't reach or meet the lower curvy line. E, the arcs are facing the wrong direction, and the straight line is in the wrong place too. Answer C. Question 154. Matrices, mirror rule. For this one, imagine the big square is split into 4 equal parts. These parts reflect each other across those lines in the middle. So the part that's missing, the bottom left corner, needs to be a copy. It copies the top left part, but flipped upside down, vertically, and it copies the bottom right part, but flipped sideways, horizontally. What the missing piece must show: on its top edge, where it touches the line in the middle, it needs 2 half-white squares. These will finish the half-white squares you see just above them. In the middle row, going from left to right, it should be a white square, then a black square, and then a half-white square. That half-white square needs to be touching the right border so it can join up with its neighbor. On the bottom row, you need 2 white squares and then a half-black square on the right side. A, look at the top edge. It has a half-black square, but it's supposed to be white. C, lots of those squares are not in the right places at all. D and E, the number of black squares is wrong, or they are in the wrong positions. We need just 1 full black square and 1 half-black square on the right edge. Answer B. Rule: what's happening? Boys and girls, in each row, the same 2 shapes move around the 4 corners. From box 1 to box 2, one shape goes up to the top corner and the other goes down. From box 2 to box 3, they then slide across, to the right for the top shape and to the left for the bottom shape. Apply the rule to row 2, the triangle and the heart. Box 1 has a triangle and a heart. Box 2 shows the triangle moved up and the heart moved down. So in box 3, the triangle must slide to the top left and the heart must slide to the bottom right. Eliminate. A and B. The triangle and heart are stuck in the same row or column. They are not in opposite corners. C. The corners don't match the rule we just learned. D. This shows 2 triangles, not a triangle and a heart. Answer E. The triangle is at the top left and the heart is at the bottom right, exactly as the rule says. Question 156. Find the missing little picture. What's the rule? Look down the right-hand column of the big grid. The little shape on the left side of the box stays the same as you go down that column. The little shape on the right side of the box turns 90 degrees anti-clockwise, which means turning to the left with each step as you go from the top to the middle to the bottom. So it goes from facing right to facing up to facing left. So the middle box that we are missing must have the same little shape on the left as the others in that column, and its little shape on the right must be pointing up, because that is the next turn from the top box. Eliminate. A. The shapes are in the wrong order. C. The turning of the shape is wrong. D and E. These show two of the same little shape, which never happens in this column. Answer B. It keeps the little shape on the left the same and has the little shape on the right turned up, which is 90 degrees anti-clockwise from the top box. 157. Which picture completes the grid? Spot the pattern, everyone. In the top row, each square has 3 shapes inside it, one inside the other. Now in the middle row, the shape on the outside is taken away, so only 2 shapes are left. And in the bottom row, one more shape is removed, so only the smallest shape inside is left. Let's use this pattern on the third column. The top of the third column has 3 shapes: a circle, an inverted triangle, and a star. The bottom of the third column has just one shape, a star. So the middle of the third column must have the 2 inner shapes, an inverted triangle with a small star inside it. Let's eliminate the wrong answers. A. The triangle isn't upside down or inverted. B. This has only a star. We need 2 shapes. C. The shape inside is a dot, not a star. E. This has an extra black dot on top. Answer D. Question 158. Matrices. Let's spot the pattern. In each row, the same basic shape appears, and it turns clockwise, like the hands of a clock, as you move across the row. In the top row, the arrow rotates. In the middle row, the shape that looks like a fork on a stick with a square end also rotates. And in the bottom row, the striped capsule rotates. For the middle row, we need the third picture. Starting from the left, the second one is already rotated. The next turn clockwise puts the square at the bottom, making the whole shape look upside down. Let's eliminate the wrong answers. A. The shape is still upright, not rotated at all. C, D, and E. These shapes have the wrong orientations. They're sideways or diagonal, not the next clockwise turn. Answer B. 59. Matrices. Which piece completes the big square? The simple rule is as follows. Column 1 and column 2 must share one identical triangle somewhere. Column 1 and column 3 must also share one identical triangle, which means the same size and orientation. So the missing middle right piece must show an upright triangle in order to match the upright triangle already used with column 1. And very importantly, its inside must not break the rule. Let's eliminate some options. We can see that A and D, these are just circles, not triangles. Option E, the triangle has a line across it, so it doesn't match the sets. And B, the triangle is upside down. Therefore, the correct answer is C. Question 160. Matrices. The rule for this one is that the number of short vertical lines inside the house increases by +1 as you move through the grid in a special snake path. That path goes from top right to top middle to top left, then middle left, middle middle, middle right, which is the piece that is missing, continuing to bottom right, bottom middle, and finally bottom left. So counting carefully along that entire path, the missing middle right cell must clearly show 5 lines. Let's eliminate. A, B, and D all have the wrong number or placement of lines. C has no inner lines at all. So the correct answer is E, which is the house with 5 short vertical lines.
Matrices. The rule here is that in each and every row, the exact same shape is consistently used. Also, as you carefully move from the left side towards the right, the total number of shapes increases incrementally by 1. Looking specifically at the middle row, we can observe the pattern with triangles, starting with just 1 triangle, then progressing to 2 triangles, and finally ending with 3 triangles, all of which are upright in their orientation. Let's eliminate. We can eliminate options A, B, and C because they clearly show more than the required 3 triangles. Option D has 3 triangles, which is the correct number. However, one of them is upside down, which breaks the established pattern. Therefore, the correct answer is E, which correctly displays 3 upright triangles. Now let's move on to the verbal reasoning section.
Question 162. Circle the pair of letters that continues the sequence. Options: A, LZ, B, NA, C, MA, D, LB, E, LA. The formula is that the first letters move forward by +2, +4, +6, +8, +10, while the second letters move backwards by -2, -4, -6, -8, -10. So the next pair is L, then A. Why not others? LZ, NA, MA, LB break the forward and backward step sizes. So the correct answer is E, LA. Question 163. Continue the sequence ELF, DME, BOF, YRE, UVF, blank. Options are A, PAQ, B, PBF, C, PAF, D, PAE, E, QAF. The formula is the first letters -1, -2, -3, -4, so the next will be -5. So U becomes P. The second letters are +1, +2, +3, +4, so the next will be +5. So V becomes A. The third letters alternate, F, E, F, E, F, so the next will be E. So PAE fits all 3 column patterns. The correct answer is letter D. Question 164. Sequence question. HIM, IKL, GIJ, HKG, FIC, question mark. Options: A, GKW, B, GKX, C, GKY, D, GLX, E, GLY. Formula: first letters +1, -2, +1, -2, +1. Second letters +2, -2, +2, -2, +2. Third letters -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Why not others? Each wrong option breaks one of the 3 column patterns. Correct answer is B, GKX. Question 165. Sequence question. MY, RB, KX, PA, IW, question mark. Options: A, OY, B, NY, C, NZ, D, MY, E, MZ. Formula: first letters +5, -7. Second letters +3, -3. Why not others? OY keeps the second letter too low. MY/MZ don't apply the -1/+1 offsets from the previous pair. Correct answer is C, NZ. Question 166. Sequence question. OH, TC, XY, AV, CT, question mark. Options: A, DS, B, ES, C, ET, D, DE, E, DU. Formula: first letters +5, +4, +3, +2, +1. Second letters -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. Why not others? ES/ET/DE/DU change or move the second letter away from the fixed S or misstep the first letter. Correct answer is A, DS. 167. Analogy: OM is to VF as KL is to blank. Options: A, RF, B, RG, C, SE, D, SF, E, RE. Formula: O to V is +7, M to F is -7. Apply this to KL. K to +7 equals R, L to -7 equals E. Why not others? Only RE uses the +7/-7 pattern. Correct answer is E, RE. Question 168. Analogy: PZ is to NE as HI is to blank. Options: A, FN, B, FO, C, FM, D, EN, E, EO. Formula: use the same shift pair, -2 + 5. H to -2 equals F, I to +5 equals N. Why not others? FO/FM/EN/EO don't apply the exact -2 + 5 pattern to HI. Correct answer is A, FN. Question 169. Analogy: KZY is to JBV as UAC is to blank. Options: A, TCY, B, TCZ, C, TCX, D, TGZ, E, TGY. Formula: U to T equals -1, A to C equals +2, C to Z equals -3. Apply the same -1 + 2 - 3 to the question side, and the option that encodes UAC that way is TCZ, so that's the match. Why not others? Other options change one of the three offsets. Correct answer is B, TCZ. Question 170. NUV is to QAE as FRS is to blank. Options: A, IYA, B, IXB, C, IXC, D, IXA, E, IYB. Formula: first analogy's sequence is +3 + 6 + 9. So we follow the same rule on the second analogy, which is F to +3 equals I, R to +6 equals X, S to +9 equals B. Why not IYA, IYB? Miss the big second letter leap required by the model sequence. Correct answer is B, IXB. Question 171. Analogy: NA is to MZ as OP is to blank. Options: A, MK, B, ML, C, LK, D, MJ, E, LJ. The formula is that both letters move -1. O becomes N, P becomes O. Why not others? MK/ML/MJ/LJ shift the wrong way or by the wrong amount. The correct answer should be NO. Question 172. If UMR is the code for RIM, which word gives you the code EMS? Options: A, tan, B, tin, C, bin, D, bat, E, ban. The formula is position shifts +3, +4, +5 from plain to code. Reverse E minus 3 equals B, M minus 4 equals I, S minus 5 equals N, gives you bin, B-I-N. Why not others? Their reverse shifts don't give you EMS. The correct answer is C, bin. Question 173. If MGQ is the code for SIT, which word gives you the code NGK? Options: A, tan, B, ITS, C, tin, D, knit, E, ink. The formula is shifts -6, -2, -3 from plain to code. Reverse them: N plus 6 equals T, G plus 2 equals I, K plus 3 equals N, gives you tin, T-I-N. Why not others? They don't produce NGK under -6, -2, -3. The correct answer is C, tin. Question 174. If the code for MANE is NYOC, what is the code for DALE? Options: A, EYMR, B, EYMP, C, EZMQ, D, EYMC, E, EXMQ. The formula is alternating +1, -2, +1, -2. D gives you E, A gives you Y, L gives you M, E gives you C, which is EYMC. Why not others? Each breaks the +1, -2 alternation. The correct answer is D, EYMC. Question 175. If the code for GRIM is HUNT, what is the code for HUNT? Options: A, IXSB, B, IXSA, C, GRIN, D, GRMI, E, GMR. The formula is offsets +1, +3, +5, +7. Apply to HUNT gives you IXSA. Why not others? Only IXSA keeps +1, +3, +5, +7. The correct answer is B, IXSA. Question 176. If the code for MATER is OEZMB, what is the code for GOONS? Options: A, ISUJC, B, ISLVC, C, ISUVB, D, ISUVA, E, ISUUC. The formula is +2, +4, +6, +8, +10. G becomes I, O becomes S, O becomes U, N becomes V, S becomes C, giving you ISUVC. Why not others? All have a wrong final letter, which should be C. The correct answer is C, ISUVC. Question 177. Using the word number code at the top of the page, what does 284541 mean? Options: A, dampen, B, coolly, C, boldly, D, calmly, E, coldly. The formula is to map digits to letters per the given list. 284541 decodes to COLDLY. Why not others? Each mismatches at least one mapped letter. The correct answer is E, coldly. Question 178. What is the code for Palm? Options A, 7046, B, 7045, C, 7041, D, 7031, E, 7301. The formula is to use the same digit to letter table. PALM equals 7046. Why not others? Each has a wrong last or M digit, or third L digit. The correct answer is A, 7046. Question 179. What is the code for Palmy? Options A, 57061, B, 50761, C, 50671, D, 51706, E, 50176. The formula is DAMPY is 50671. Why not others? Only 50671 keeps 50671 in order. The correct answer is C, 50671. Question 180. What does 3845 mean? Options A, cold, B, bold, C, damp, D, balm, E, yaks. The formula is 3845 is BOLD. Why not others? Each has a letter that doesn't match those digits. The correct answer is B, bold. Question 181. What does 3046 mean? Options A, damp, B, tall, C, lamp, D, balm, E, yaks. The formula is 3046 is BALM. Why not others? Only balm fits those four digits. The correct answer is D, balm.